is Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Ballerina. It stars Ana de Armas as another hitman in the John Wick world, and a lot of familiar faces along for the ride. So this is a movie where she, of course, it's parodies everything we saw in like Red Sparrow, the Black Widow storyline, things like that, where she's a young girl. Her father was tied to the inside world of like John Wick and like the hitmen and all the crime and stuff that sort of goes on. She gets taken. Gabriel Byrne plays the bad guy in this. She gets taken, or he kills the father, and instead of her getting taken, she gets saved and brought to the Ballerinas. Angelica Houston's running this show, and she trains these young girls to become top level assassins, and she trains her to do that as well. She has a heart of gold. Like, I wish I could go into more of this. There's not a lot of story when it comes to the John Wick movies, and Ballerina does not have, at least you have John Wick's story in the other ones. In this one, it's just sort of a setup. She sees another girl who kind of gets kidnapped by Gabriel Byrne's character, so she goes on this mission of sort of revenge to get her back and stop it. John Wick does get called in, so he has a cameo in this, sort of a bigger cameo than normal, where he has to fight her and take her out. That's his job, but for reasons you'll see in the movie, he doesn't. And you'll figure that out, I'm sure, for a sequel. But overall, this movie was high octane, a lot of action. It was fun at times. I like Ana de Armas. I have a hard time sort of thick. And in movies like this, where you have a lot of bullets and a lot of like fighting and stuff like that, and so a lot of action sounds, it made it hard to kind of understand, her dialogue and stuff as we were going through. So there were some issues with this movie for me that kind of dragged it back. I didn't think it was a bad movie by any means. I might check it out again. I do like high action-y stunt extravaganza type films, and that's one of them. But it pales in comparison to even the worst John Wick film, which was the last one, in my opinion. And I like that one, but they have deteriorated over time. And this one was actually not even as good as that one. So I walked away from this. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 mics. Again, I like the actors in it. I don't care so much about the John Wick world. I don't need it to be extended. I can keep it within the John Wick realm. I don't even know why, and spoiler for the last John Wick film, John Wick 4, he did die in it. He is coming back, though. So don't worry. He'll be back. He always comes back, probably as Frankenstein. It bothers me that they do that over time and then kill it off, and then he's back in here because it's a different time, within the franchise. Like Rocky, just keep him going. I don't understand why you have to get rid of all your main characters, but whatever. So I walked away from this one. I had fun with it. I didn't really need to see it in theaters. I could have waited till it came out on streaming or something like that. But it does look good. It's pretty, and it has a lot of action. So that's what my takeaway is from it. Paul, what'd you think about this?
So, I mean, I love the John Wick movies exactly for what they are, because we all know we're in for a John Wick movie. This was just kind of a good fill-in, the worst comparison I made for a friend that asked about this. I was like, it's like if you're used to smoking cigarettes and you switch to vape, this is the vape to the cigarette that John Wick is. It's just enough to get you by, and you're like, okay, it's good enough, but it's definitely not John Wick. I wish they had just made it its own thing and not had any cameo at all. But I did like it. My rating is exactly right there with you. I don't think it's one you had to rush and see in theater. If it was still in theater, I wouldn't be like, oh, you absolutely do. I think it's one you can absolutely stream at home and still enjoy. Or if if you happen to have outdoor projector, indoor projector, I think this is one that would be fun to watch. But I didn't think it was needed. I don't think any of us honestly asked for it. I'd rather just wait for the next John Wick installation as opposed to, like you said, adding into a universe that, I mean, there's so many other characters I'd rather see a lot more of that have already been introduced with John Wick. Why'd we just pull Ballerina out of nowhere? And it almost kind of stunk because I really like her as an actress. I think she did a pretty good job. Like I said, that, like as you said, that accent was just a little too much.
Yeah.
But all in all, yeah, I'd say it's worth a watch. But I don't think I'll probably end up rewatching this unless someone hasn't seen this and has seen all the John Wicks. It's like, oh, you have this. Can we throw it on?
Yeah, and it's funny too because like you take a movie like Glass Onion, Knives Out, which Ana de Armas was in, and kind of comparing it because she was also in the last one of the last James Bond films and stuff like that. Like she is very good at action. I like her more in like maybe even comedic roles or in drama roles and stuff like that. It's not that her accent throws me off. It's the high intensity action that is so loud that when your accent is, that's why I think the James Bond movie she was in work. She was only in like a couple of scenes. It was very high actiony, not a lot of dialogue and stuff. But then here you bring it here, you have to put out all that exposition. You got to, she's really got to sell a lot of things to connect with her. And it just was too much action within that. I feel like we bought Keanu Reeves right out of the gate. It was a simple enough premise. It was dog got killed. He goes on a tear. And that's all we needed to believe about this. So it got bigger over time. And we were willing to accept that because we've now entered into this with, okay, his dog got killed. He's going to kill everyone. So like, we're in it. We know what we want. This one, it feels like, okay, we have her whole backstory. We didn't really need John Wick's backstory. It was just like, it was done. Actually, in my opinion, the John Wick backstory reveal is probably one of the most epic backstory reveals of all time. I would put it up there in a way of like just the way the music was, how the acting was, like delivering the lines and who he was, and like the mix of action of him like kind of waking it back up. To me, that was something that like really spoke to me. I would put that up there with the reveal of like I'm your father, you know. And I realize that's a huge one, but as far as movies go, that was a really well done and we didn't need much. But in this movie, they tried to shoehorn everything in to make her seem more like caring and dramatic, and it was like I don't know. I don't know about all this, but that's my review. 2.5. What is yours? What a 2.5 out of 5?
It's 2.5. 2.5 as well.
Yeah, so middle of the road. Go check it out. Let us know what you think, but maybe wait till it's out of theaters. I'm excited for this next one.